Let's now look at the Explorer, which is the place where you start checking the data that you've already sent to Statful, and you start creating your graphic visualization of your data. As an example, let's start with one metric that we use in our product that we call Web Timer Response. And you can see here, this metric has some different aggregations options, and we have information from the average time of execution of a given feature. When a user does something on our product, on our UI, we measure the time it takes for that action to be completed. So we can see if something is taking longer than usual, so we can have an idea what is the level of the user experience for the user, if it's facing some kind of issue. Or we can even check if we see, say, a count, we can see a number of times a given feature is being used. In our case, we are still looking into a consolidated view. So we are checking for the last hour with the resolution of 1 minute, what is the number of features that are being used in our products. But these timelines you can adapt and change for whatever you need. Let's say, for example, we want to see the last 7 days. Automatically, the resolution is adjusted because 7 days by the minute is too much. So you have the minimum 1 hour. And let's say we want to see this for a given day, 7 days, a full week, an aggregation by day. What you have also that allows you to give more context to your metric, because above it's just a single line that you're seeing there, is what we call the tags. The tags allow you to give context to your metric and give some kind of understanding of what happened on that given point in time with that data. So in our case, our metric has tags that go from the app that we are collecting this data from, the environment, if it's our production, demo, or staging environment, and even the operating system or the browser that the user is using when he's using Statful. In our case, let's focus on the app, which is our Statful app. Let's focus on our production environment. And then let's say we want to look into some specific endpoints. So endpoints is the feature that the user is using on the UI. And let's do a group by on the endpoints. This still shows some level of data where one specific endpoint is used a lot, which is getting metric values, which is used everywhere on the dashboards in the application. And let's focus on some specific endpoints to be able to show you the level of the filtering you can do and what you can use here. So let's look at the dashboards endpoints. Let's also look at the events endpoint. And let's also focus on the timeline. So here you start seeing some more data, which is kind of in the same level of measurement, let's say like that. But still this shows some lines. For this type of representation, the best thing you can do is change your visualization of your graphic. In our case, let's use, for example, the bar chart, where you can clearly see the level of users on each endpoint by day. As we mentioned, this is the 7 days resolution by day. And you can see which endpoints are being used and compare with the other ones. You can also choose the part of the axis to give some names to specific labels to the axis, and even choose the measurements you're using on your representation. In this case, it's a number, could be seconds or memory kind of units that you use. What you can do also on the Explorer is start zooming in into some specific periods. For example, we are zooming in from the July 10th to the July 12th. You already see some data specific on this period, and you can keep zooming in. And at this point, you start seeing different levels of granularity. So at this point, we are seeing by the hour, and you could keep drilling in and go to the level of the minute or even second and see what's really happening. Once you're satisfied with your level of resolution, you can always come back to the level you were. 7 days, 1 hour by default, but let's change again for the level of 1 day. And here you can have a clear view of what's really happening on these 3 endpoints that we choose. And basically, Explorer allows you to create your customized query and build your visual representation of your data, and then put this information into dashboards that allow you to create your cockpit. So you are on top of your business, your application, or your systems.